Welcome back, everybody. This is Modern with Randy, and I am Randy. As always, guys, if you like what I'm doing, you like what I've been showcasing, feel free to give a like, leave a comment on any of the videos, tell me what you like, what you don't like, as well as subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything I've been doing. Today, I thought I would talk about a deck that went 10-0 in the Modern portion of the Pro Tour that just happened, or not just happened, but happened about a week ago now. And I thought I'd talk about this one basically because it's the Esper Goryo's Vengeance list. So this deck was really popular at one point in time. It was right around like probably the best deck in the format at any given weekend. You could take it and take down a tournament. Kind of fell off. Modern Horizons 3 came out. People got excited by new toys and kind of forgot this deck existed. So I kind of just wanted to go over what this deck was doing, why it did so well, and what kind of new toys or upgrades it might have gotten along the way. So first off, I kind of broke this deck down into our interaction spells, our reanimation spells, what we're reanimating, all that fun jazz. So we have 20 lands. We're playing the 3 surveil lands to help us with that, and then we're playing the archaeologist to help mill cards into our graveyard so we can get our Atraxa or Gristlebrand into the graveyard. We're playing Tainted Indulgence as well to help us draw cards, cycle through, get either Atraxa or Gristlebrand into our graveyard. And then the newest one is Psychic Frog, which is a huge upgrade to the deck. It gives us a little bit of early pressure, gives us some card draw, as well as being able to pitch our Gristlebrand and Atraxas that we draw, because, you know, those just sitting in our hand aren't doing anything for us. Kind of seen this card go all over. I've seen it in the blue-black Murktide decks a lot. Card has looked good. I don't know if 2 is the right number. Obviously, this is a deck that went 10-0 at the Pro Tour. I can't say too much or speak too poorly of how well this deck was built or not built. But I do think I can see that Psychic Frog going up in value even more just because it's such a good little creature. We fill up our graveyard a lot with our fetch lands and everything else. So it just makes sense that, we're going to be able to give it flying. We're going to be able to get into the damage and just keep drawing cards and help generating value. After that, we have Thoughtseize, 1 Force Negation, and 4 Griefs as kind of our interaction package of how to interact with our opponent and take them off their game plan, right? We are playing Thoughtseize because it's a good card. Grief's also a good card. I don't need to sit here and explain to you guys why those are good cards. Force Negation obviously is a good counter spell that we can, tap out, go for our Goryo's Vengeance on our turn, and still have interaction, or go for it at the end of our opponent's turn and still have interaction up. And obviously we're playing the Ephemerate that goes great with Grief, goes great with Solitude, goes great with Gristlebrand and Attraction when we're using Goryo's Vengeance to get them back. I'm not going to spend too much time on why that card is good. We have our removal suite here of 3 Prismatic Endings and then 3 Solitudes. Obviously, Solitude's a good card. We have a great way to pitch it. We have Ephemerate to buy it back or bounce it so we don't have to actually sacrifice it and just get, uber value. Same thing with the Griefs and everything else. Just a great little package, and then Prismatic Ending pretty much enters any problematic permanent we're going to end up going against. And then we have obviously the 4 Goryo's Vengeance. Instant speed gets to return a legendary creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, that it gains haste and exile at the beginning of the next end step. So obviously that's why we're playing 4 Atraxas and 2 Gristlebrand's, the best legendary creatures to bring back. Obviously Gristlebrand has lost some of its ability because of Bowmaster, Shielder, things like that. Paying 7 life to draw 7 cards and then also getting Bowmastered for 7 doesn't feel really good. Hence why we have, 4 Atraxas and 2 Gristlebrand. And then we're also playing Priest of the Fell Rites. A card that came out in Modern Horizons 2. Hasn't really seen a whole bunch of play. It keeps kind of like showing up here and there. But apparently this is good enough to be into the deck. For anyone who doesn't know what it does or doesn't really think about it ever, because I can't remember the last time I thought about Priest. It's a black and white card for a 2/2 and it has tap, pay 3 life, sacrifice it, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery, and then it has on Earth for black and a white and 3 colorless or 3 generic. Which obviously when you on Earth it has haste, so you don't have to wait that turn with it. So just another reanimation effect for the deck, basically. Overall, the sideboard, the main deck of this deck looks solid. It hasn't really changed too much. Honestly, the only major additions were having some priests into it, because I know they toyed around with that before, but it wasn't stock essentially. And then obviously Psychic Frog out of MH3 is the newest upgrade to this deck. But it turns out that you can kind of just go back to the classic, put Attraction into play, and it's still going to work out well for you. Like I said, this deck did go 10-0 at the Pro Tour in the Modern portion of it. I'm going to guess that they probably did terrible in the drafting portion, which is why we didn't really hear too much about this deck. But then going over his sideboard choices for the deck here. So we're running 3 Celestial Purge, obviously makes sense. We have Mono Black Necro is probably one of the biggest decks that this deck is going to struggle against. Them being able to just turn through their deck, grab a bunch of cards, being able to answer Necro Dominance seems like a great answer, as well as any other permanent or problematic permanent black spells. We have Dren's Magistrate here, definitely for the Storm deck, as well as like Living End and things of that nature. Cosine to Memory, of course, that's there for the Eldrazi decks, as well as it can come in against Storm, but it's there for Eldrazi, let's be real. Playing 1 Teferi Time Raveler up there against the control decks is my guess, and then Neil Spellbomb there for any of the graveyard shenanigans running around, and 3 Wrath Disguises to help clean up the boards. Probably really helps against Nadu too. I've been playing a bunch of Jeskai Energy, or Jeskai Control, and Wrath Disguises has been great against Nadu, though I do think that deck's going to get banned here sooner than later. But just, you know, one of those things, it's a great little board wipe, helps you deal with the smaller permanents. And then he was playing 1 Leyline of Sanctity. I'm not 100% sure what the Leyline was in there for the sideboard of, especially, usually when you're playing Leylines, you're playing 4, you're playing none. So putting 1 Leyline in there seems a little different. My guess is it's probably still there for the Necro Dominance decks and things of that nature. Just because even if you hardcast us on 4, being able to make sure their soul spikes no longer have a valid target is huge. It helps them, you know, not being able to keep turning through their deck. So it is a little interesting just having the one of them in there. But overall, I do think this is a deck that might end up coming back into play once we have Nadu banned. I do think Nadu is kind of in this weird position where I think everyone understands that that deck's getting banned, but no one's ready to pull the trigger on what to do. Because if you play in the leagues and stuff like that, you don't really run into Nadu. People know it's going to get banned. It's miserable to play online. I think it's going to get banned as well. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. But I do think this is a deck that you can look forward to either playing or taking to your RCQs here coming up. I know we have the RCQ Modern season getting ready to come up here in just a couple weeks, or I might be actually a little bit, might be about a month before that comes up. So do you think this is something you guys are going to see going forward? The deck's still crazy strong, still crazy powerful, so it's not too unreal to see it get played. Like I said, it went 10-0 in the Modern portion of the Pro Tour, so it is something I think we could see come back, and it's still good having Grief, Solitude, and Ephemerate to get the double value from them, being able to get back into tracks to refill your hand, or Gristlebrand to refill your hand, and then we have, you know, Tainted Indulgence and the Architect to cycle through our deck, along with Psychic Frog to help get chip damage in, as well as just get incidental card draw going as well, because we're filling up the graveyard with a bunch of nonsense that we don't care about, right? We care about Atraxa, Gristlebrand being in our graveyard, and nothing else. So I do think this is going to be something we're going to see moving forward. I'm really interested to see if this deck gets iterated on a little bit more. Maybe we go up to more Psychic Frogs. That card has been a powerhouse in my opinion. I've really liked playing with that card. Every time I have to play against it, it's a pain in my ass. So I definitely see Psychic Frog making a bigger impact on Modern as a whole, especially as we delve more deep into the RCQ season that's coming up, and after we see Nadu either get banned or hindered to some degree. So it'll be great to see what's coming out after that. As always, guys, I am Randy. If you like what I'm seeing, you like what I'm doing, feel free to give a like on the video, comment, subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything I'm doing, and I'll see you guys next time.